he's been in Bible base, I've been in Bible base for a while, so it's funny how God has our paths crossed. And really, everyone in this room and everyone this first year, we were together for a reason. And hopefully we're better men and women for it, all right? So, if you, and he's I don't know what kind of energy he's going to bring tonight, but he's our energy. So please give a warm welcome for Mr. Donald Dowridge.
Go Terriers! Go Terriers! Go Terriers! 1975 state champions. I just happened to be playing defensive end on that team. 1975. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm at Freedom. Oh, want to get away? Southwest Airlines. I like how my boy looking at me like, what's wrong with this dude? Anyway, my name is Donald Dowridge Jr. I'm a motivational speaker. I've played semi-pro football while I was in the Army. Previously, before that, I was the Black Forrest Gump. I've ran in marathons. I love running. I've ran cross country. I've ran the mountains of Korea. I've ran the mountains of California, up in Monterey, Baltimore, that's my hometown. Go Ravens. Tampa. I love running. But unfortunately, my running days are behind me. I've had 4 surgeries on my knees. But the moral of the story on me saying that is standard. Standards. What is your standard? What type of standards are you going to set for you as you go through this life? Is somebody else going to set a standard for you? Or are you going to rise up and set your standard? I can recall, because we just passed Mother's Day, and my godmother, who passed away a few years ago, back in the days when I used to run a lot, she used to tell me, say, boy, you better stop all that running. You're going to pay for that one day. Well, despite her telling me to stop all that running, I'm going to pay for it one day, I still ran out and ran. Because running became a part of me. Running, believe it or not, if I can go way back when I was in 5 different foster homes, that's what I come up out of. And I'm not going to open up the whole door of that turbulent lifestyle that I live and had to live, but that's where I started my running from. Running for my life. But then it got to the point where, when I say my life, it became a standard for me. For running, it became a standard of how I kept myself in fit. It became a standard of how I thought about myself when I looked in the mirror, because there was a certain point of me that I wanted to see. And running allowed me to air out, to get rid of the frustrations that I was going through. And I'm sure everybody in here, I don't care if you're young or elder, you've gone through frustration. And for the young ones, frustration is going to come visit you sometime in your life. The question is, how are you going to be able to handle those frustrations that come when they come a knocking? Are you going to be the one to throw in the towel, I quit? Or are you going to be the one that say, okay, it's just another hurdle that I'm going to have to jump over? Like Edwin Moses, when he went to the Olympics. Anybody ever heard of Edwin Moses? The great Olympian? Thank you, sir. All right? As a matter of fact, in Cincinnati, he has a whole street named after him, just by hurtling over those hurdles during the Olympics. What hurdle are you going to jump over as you go through your life? Standing. Excuse. I mentioned that I'm prior military, U.S. Army. Now, I got to let y'all know something. I'm one cool dude. Sometimes I think I invented the word cool, because I'm so smooth with it, even at 62. Look at my boy, he's like, yo, I like him, he need to be my stepdad. Stop playing, bro. Stop playing. So, excuse. I'll never forget at Fort Jackson, when those cattle trucks rolled up to the main building and all those drill sergeants were standing outside screaming at the top of their lungs. And everybody, all the other troops that were on those buses with me, they got their bags and they were running, scared as I don't know what. I was the last one. Matter of fact, one of them hit me. They're like, man, get off me. And everybody ran out, and I was the last one on that bus. I picked up my duffel bag and I did what was called the double bag drag. I walked just like this. Then when I got to the door stepping off, Drill Sergeant Thomas came right there. And he started talking, screaming, howling, in my face. Matter of fact, he was so close in my face, every word that came out of his mouth, there was spit coming out of it. And I told him as he was telling me, screaming at me, get your... And I just looked at him. And I said, man, look at here. If you spit in my face one more time, and I'm fresh from the streets, you spit in my face one more time, I got something for you. Ladies and gentlemen, something I didn't see while I was proclaiming to be the bad one, the cool one. I didn't see his right hand as it was rising. I didn't see it when it came behind me and hit me in the back of my neck. And next thing I know, I was down on the ground. And when I went down on the ground, he said, give me 50. 50, right off the top. Give me 50. You're not getting up until you give me 50. I was like, anybody ever seen the movie Rocky? They call Sylvester Stallone in the movie, they call him Stallion. I'm sorry, I'm missing it. Creed's dad is the Stallion, all right? Well, guess what? When I went down on that ground and Coach and Drill Sergeant put his foot on my back and told me, when you get up, that's when I'm gonna get tired. And he said, push, push, push. Well, when I got up with those tears in my eyes, he had broke a stallion. He broke me. And when I got up again and he got back in my face again, right to this day, I live by what he said this time. He said the maximum range of an excuse is 0.00 meters. Don't live your life on an excuse. If you got to have an excuse, young powerful brothers, that's right, I called you a name, young powerful brothers. If you got to have an excuse, have the excuse of being successful. That's your excuse. So as the hurdles come at you, as the naysayers come at you, as those that come to try to take you off of your game. We got any running backs in here? Running backs? All right? Okay. Well, you know what a running back does, right? A running back, he waves. He waves because he's working his way to the touchdown. Wave through those who wish to stand in your way and block you from your what? S-U-C-C-E-S-S. In your what? L-I-F-E. Like Nicki Minaj said, if I could just have this moment for what? Life.
I'll come back.
Man, my boy over there say, yes sir, that old man on point. He about to make me go and bring out somebody else too, little baby. Wham, wham, wham. Let me tell you something else. Must. Alright? M-U-S-T. Alright? When you hear must, put it in your heart of the things that you must do to be successful in your life. The must. I must continue. I must complete. I must carry on. Must is a big word. It should be in your vocabulary of achieving that avenue, achieving your destiny, and achieving your legacy of your what? Life. Must play a big part. Thank you, my brother, because he was like, I feel you, homie. All right? Moving on to the next because I know time is ticking. Need. Need is more important than want. Don't get your wants misconstrued with your need. Maslow's law of hierarchy says that we all need shelter. We all need clothes. We all need to eat. But check this out. Do we need the most expensive? Or do we need, for instance, a pair of shoes? Or do we need the $5,000, $10,000 pair of what? LeBrons. What's up, big man? Welcome to the party, man. So don't get your needs mixed up with your wants, because wants will get you in some type of trouble. But I need to achieve. I need to take me to the next higher level of my success. Because eventually, as much as we may not want to, we all want to die. We don't want to leave this earth one day. But before you leave this earth, what are you going to achieve while you got the opportunity to achieve? The beautiful thing of it is, one day I was going into an office building, and I saw this van come up next to me. I saw the door open up, but I didn't see anybody come out the door. All of a sudden, I saw this letdown come down, and then I saw this lady come out in a wheelchair, and she was sitting just like this. She couldn't move. And I just had to go over and ask her, ma'am, what are you doing here? She said, I work here. I said, you do what? She said, I work here. I said, but ma'am, you're paralyzed. What do you do? Why do you come here every day? You could be home getting taken care of. She said, my illnesses does not stop me from my achievements. Going back to the excuse. Never fall on the excuse. Rise to the occasion. Rise to the occasion. Rise to the occasion. I think of the people like Michael Jordan, who I just happened to meet when he was coming out of finishing the playoff game with Orlando Magic up in Orlando. And Magic, and Michael was walking, and I ran into him. And I thought about that movie I saw of him. Daddy, can I just have 5 more shots? All right, son. Yes. You know your mother wants you in the bed now. I think about those times when Michael Jordan at North Carolina, how he had to sit on the end of the bench. But then I think about those times when I go to my closet and I choose what pair of Jordans I want. Look how rich I'm making this man. Because he is what? A superstar. I'm listening to Tony Robbins the other day, and Tony Robbins said, I was talking to Michael Jordan, who became the best ball player there ever was. And I said, Michael, how did you do it? He says, well, it's not a matter of how many shots that I scored, it's a matter of how many shots I missed. It's a matter of how many shots I missed. Les Brown, anybody ever heard of Les Brown? I trained directly under Les Brown as a speaker. And one thing he said, when you fall down, we all going to fall. We all going to fall. We all going to fail, but that does not mean you are a big man. When you fall, you're not a failure. You just failed at something, but you're not a what? Failure. But everybody, I ain't even saying that. I ain't even saying that. Let me just touch on it. What's up, my brother? All right? All the people that we look at TV, football games, championship games, and who was that just scored last minute of the game with the Raptors? Leonard. Who was he playing with before he got to the Raptors? What team was he with? When he left the Spurs, they were saying some things about him behind his back. But look what he did at the last minute to take the Spurs, take the Raptors to the what? Next round. The party continues to go on, but you got to play your part in order for it to go on. I'm looking at my homeboy right here, all right, with his head down. I can't tell you how many times I've had my head down. I see a lot of people that walk, a lot of people, and some of you all is guilty in here. Y'all gonna step on some parade today. A lot of people are guilty, and some of you all are guilty of walking just like this. Walk like this. With pride in yourself. Look in the mirror and tell yourself, be brave enough to tell yourself, I am the best individual that ever walked this earth. I'm old enough to be your granddaddy, but guess what? I'm no better than you are, my brother. I'm no better than you. Because I understand one thing about this thing called life, my young brothers and sisters. We all live, and one day, sir, we all got to get up out of here. But what are you going to do in the middle of living this life? What are you going to leave as a testament of your life? I think about all the great ones that have come through, and we're still talking about the Martin Luther Kings, the John F. Kennedys. And I can tell you about John F. Kennedy when in the first grade we went to the White House. And sir, when I was in the first grade, I was a class clown. But we went to the White House. I was the last kid in the line. And all of a sudden the class, they up there, and I'm walking, doing what I do, coach, doing what I do, And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, I see this hand on my little shoulder. In my mind, I'm thinking, man, you better get off me. You don't know who you is. And I looked up, and I see this guy looking at me, and he asked me the question. He said, you know who I am? I'm like, no. But in my mind, I'm like, you better get off me. He said, I am the President of the United States, John Fitzgerald Kennedy. It didn't bother me until 5 months later. I still hold it in my heart. And we still talk about him to this day. I travel the country as Frederick Douglass. I've been portraying Frederick Douglass for the last 10 years. Frederick Douglass died and left us in 1895. But I guess, since Coach said it, I guess God chose me to travel the country and portray him, to keep his word spirit alive and teach young people that are coming through the great work that he did, but the greater work each and everybody in here can do with your life. I'm going to end in a few minutes. All right? Legacy. Leave a legacy. How many of you all planning on got a thought of going into the NFL? Anybody? Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right? Well, sir, I don't know how old you are, but I got a feeling you can relate to what I'm getting ready to say. Coach, you probably can relate to what I can say, what I'm about to say too. You probably remember the old Baltimore Colts. One day, me and my friends was outside playing. Who comes out the door? This big, tall black guy. And he says to us, he said, you know who I am? We as kids, we just looked at each other and started laughing at each other. He said, I'm John Mackey, number 88. I play for the Baltimore Colts. Check me out. Before then, I didn't even know about football. But he inspired me. And when I looked at that game on Sunday, all I saw was streaking of light going. I saw 88 flying down the field going, touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. That's how great that man was. How great are you going to be as you attempt to make that move to your NFL? NFL, navigating favor in your lifetime. How great are you going to be using your NBA, your natural born abilities? How great are you going to be with your RAP, your rap, realizing your altitude power? How great are you going to be as you move forth to your greatness? And from this point on, as I get ready to take my seat, from this point on, young, powerful brothers, carry this in your heart and your mind, that I am somebody. And start setting your standards greater than those who don't have standards. Thank you. Much respect.